Everyone is telling you to promote your app on TikTok, but this reel got 33,000 views. This one got 80,000 views. This carousel got over 100,000 views, and none of it was planned. In 1 week, Be Underwater went from 165 followers and almost no downloads to 800 downloads on iOS and 200 on Android. No ads, no agency, no marketing budget, just Instagram posts that happen to connect. But there is the thing. After I saw what worked and what didn't, I realized it wasn't luck. There is a pattern, and today I'm going to show you exactly what it is. Let me give you some context. I have an Instagram account, a personal account, that I grew to 25,000 followers. That was long time ago. They was on the travel niche, and I even did some collaboration back in 2020. I would say I was a travel influencer back then, but I got very burnt out. And when I started building my apps, I decided to abandon the account because I thought I will never need it again, because now I will live from my apps. There was a very big mistake. I should pivot that account at that point. But when I finished my scuba app, I decided to pivot my account from travel to scuba because somehow we're a little bit related. And that was the problem, because barely I got 1,000 views in any reel I post. And I talked to Cloud and I say, look, I want to give up this account and start a new one. And Claude was like, no way, you have this 20,000 followers value there that you shouldn't give up, and let's give it a try. And on the other side, I create an account for Be Underwater app, and I did many things, but I just got 165 followers, and it was a little bit impossible to grow it. Even I was posting reels and different strategies, nothing was working. So that means I couldn't reach some new divers for Be Underwater, and I need to change that to grow my app. Then 1 week, everything changed. That's why you don't have to give up, because you can be there for 2 years and suddenly something blew up. And now I have a very clear picture of why. The first one to blow up was a reel I almost didn't post. I saw some kind of trends there and in a different niche, and I was like, okay, let's try. It was personal, emotional, completely different from anything else I would be putting out. The hook was, 1 year ago, I wanted to quit my job as a scuba instructor to build a scuba app. But what if it doesn't work? And then the flip, but what if it does? And clips of me on the boat coding and Be Underwater app, diving as well. 10 seconds, you don't need more. And that was it. 32,000 views and growing. Hundreds of comments, people just supporting me on my journey. And the hook wasn't about the app. It was about the fear of making a big decision. That's what people connect with. But the reel that really exploded, 80,000 views. The second one was even more delayed. I also replicate a different video similar to this one in a different niche, and the hook I created was, I'm 35. If you are over 30, people will connect a lot with you because you're supposed to have your life settled down, right? And I lost my job as a scuba instructor. I'm building the Airbnb for scuba divers. This is my plan. Me underwater with a catchy video and caption about the real problems divers face when they try to book a dive center, the solution, which is the app. 80,000 views. that's when the app's downloads start coming up like crazy, because these 80,000 views makes all the downloads start spiking, and this felt really cool, to be honest. Also, because this one worked very well, I create the same video several times, and instead saying like I lost my job, I was saying I quit my job. And basically I think that the hook has to be something about you and something about your app. For example, for me it's like, okay, I'm over 30 and I starting over, and also my app, I sum up in a sentence, is Airbnb for scuba divers, and people will see how you solve the problem. Then I heard carousels were working very well, and I wanted to give it a try because I saw many viral carousels, and I got a carousel with 100,000 views. One single carousel. The hook was, I'm 35. Here is every time I start over. Chronological, London, Thailand, Australia, Palau, building be underwater. Each slide was a different chapter of my life. 100,000 views. Over 2,000 new followers from one post. So I'm still freaking out about that. And this carousel actually took longer to explode than the reels. So carousel usually build slower, but they go farther. And I got many shares, save comments, and people was just supporting me a lot on that, and obviously that leads on downloads on Be Underwater, and leads as well on follows on Be Underwater, which is now over 2,000 followers, from 165 to 2,000 followers, just because I just always on the caption mention Be Underwater app. And I didn't know trial reels will work that well, and carousel. So, and that means you don't have to promote your app straight away. A timeline of your real life, told honestly, is more powerful than any promotional content you could ever create. What didn't work? Now the honest part. No, everything worked. And the pattern of what failed is just as important as what succeed. Talking to the camera without a strong hook was not working for me at all. I got like 200 views, and I don't know if it was my accent or what's the problem, but on Instagram my talking videos don't work very well so far, but I will keep trying. Hook with no tension of conflict just die immediately. I was testing everything on trials and they barely get 100 views. Also, promotional content about the app with no value, almost no reach. Come alone style blogs without clear conflict, or I'm Eliana, I'm building this, and something else, low reach. For example, one reel, the hook was, I'm 35, I've been teaching scuba diving for 7 years, come alone. There was no bad, there was like 200 views, which is better than nothing, but there was no conflict in the hook, so low reach. For example, when I was saying I'm 35 and I've been living on a boat for 6 months and I'm quitting my job as a scuba instructor to build the Airbnb for scuba diving, you see it, right? You see the difference. So this conflict, this kind of hook, like, oh, this girl was living on the boat, or this girl was a scuba instructor but now is coding, like, how the hell? So people start interested on the journey. So even they are not your potential audience, eventually, because this is going viral, will reach your potential audience, all the divers or whatever is your niche. The hook is everything. Not the production quality, not the length, not the format. If the first 2 seconds don't create tension, the algorithm won't push it. After analyzing every post, what worked, what didn't, what was shared, what got saved, the pattern is very clear. What was viral for me specifically was personal history with a clear before and after or transformation, conflict or tension in the first 2 seconds, fear, doubt, sacrifice, whatever happened to you. A specific number and ages, 35, 7 years, 165 followers to 2000, chronological carousel showing the full journey. Reels where the hook is a question or a what if, scuba content with a strong educational hook for the underwater account. So try to educate people and teach people as well in your niche. And what never works? App promotion without a story. Hooks that describe instead of creating tension. Talking to the camera without visual context. Lifestyle content without conflict. The interesting thing, the underwater account works very differently from my personal account. All this educational content that I told you was working very well on the underwater, and some of the carousels there got over 15,000 views as well because you're providing value. So it's not about promoting your app. You should mention your app at the end in the caption, but you don't have to be saying what your app is doing all the time and just spam, because this actually work very bad most of the time. And it's also nice, and I really recommend you to have your own account and your brand and connected together. I was doing some reels and some stuff, some posts just collaborating in both accounts, and they were working very well. Also, I know my history is like very emotional because I'm a scuba instructor, and then I learned to code because I have this idea for this scuba app and I wanted to build it myself, and I know that will explode on social media because it's not the normal history like a normal founder. And I was like working on the underwater after my 10 hours day working as a scuba instructor, and this immediately connect with divers and also with dive centers, because dive centers as well, they trust me because they know I've been working on the scuba industry for 10 years. And if I was just a normal founder with a lot of funding and lot of investors, and I would never know the industry and I would never understand them. So I think that there was the other reason why the dive centers sign up straight away in the underwater, because they really trust me. If you are wondering if it's worthy or not, create your personal brand, is very worthy. And also because I create my personal brand, recently I got featured on the Business Insider. I am still processing this, and it's such a dream. And me and my little scuba app got featured there because of my journey from scuba instructor to developer, and because I wanted to share that with the world. And also I got very nice comments supporting my journey, some hate as well because it's social media. The viral content didn't just bring followers, it brought the right followers. People who watched those reels weren't random. They were divers or eventually lead to divers. People who had quit jobs to follow something they believe in. Founders who relate to the history and eventually want to scuba dive. Those are exactly the people who would download a scuba diving app. The conversion path was simple: viral reel, profile visit, link in bio, app download. No paid retargeting, no email sequences, no complicated funnel. From App Store Connect, I can see most downloads came from direct search and referral, which means people saw the content when looking for the underwater specifically and downloaded. 2 years of marketing and 1 week of the right content, and that's it. So you need to keep going. Even you don't see traction, eventually will pop up, I promise you. The product was always there. People just needed to find it through content they actually care about. You don't need a marketing budget. You don't need to work with influencers. You just need a history worth telling and a hook that makes people stop. So over 1,000 downloads in 1 week. No budget, no agency, just Instagram posts that told a real history with a hook that creates tension. Also, I recycle all content on TikTok and some posts went viral too, but this is a different history. I will keep it for a different video. The formula, if I have to reduce it to one sentence, lead with conflict. Tell the real history. Let the product be the resolution. That works for apps, for SaaS, for any product, where the founder has a genuine history behind why they built it. Subscribe if you want more of this. I share the honest version of building products, not just the highlighted reel. And tell me in the comments what's your app and what have you tried for marketing. I read everything.